Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Another new project in the driveway. Check it out. Okay, I believe this is a 2011 GMC Sierra neighbor's truck. Okay, so for the first video, he's only interested in the moment getting these rocker panels cleaned up. Now they are solid. They do not require being cut out or welded in. They just need the plugs pulled out and all the paint removed and just tidied up, and hopefully it can stay up, not too far up actually into the rocker line. I suggested to him, since he doesn't have mud flaps on here, and that's probably part of the reason why it is like this, is the truck never had flaps put on it to keep the salt and the sand and stuff from blowing up here. But I suggested get this back to bare metal, then get some primer on it and some stone guard to help protect it, and then shoot it with some base and clear. Okay, so I started going over this with 40 grit flat disc on the angle grinder. It's to my best interest just to this is the passenger side. My best interest to just open it up and find out exactly what's going on, as opposed to just try to, work little spots. Okay, that all ground back to get the surface off, and now I'm working on sanding that all back with 80 grit on the DA. Get as much as this rusty stuff here off as I can, and then I'm gonna be trying a that's not new on the market, but a chemical rust remover. Okay, so if you guys can see that, everything's sanded back, bared up, way better than it was. Got lacquer thinners in a squirt bottle here, and a rag. Gonna give those areas a big old wipe down, and then put some of this here Vapo Rust in a squirt bottle. Give it a good soaking and let it sit for the night. See what happens. Okay, so since I'm working along the edge of the rocker on this vehicle, there's some weather stripping along the bottom of the door, and this is one of the tools that came in that Perceiva kit with all them fasteners for bumpers and weather stripping and stuff. This is a nice little tool. Pops it off, no problem. And I'll probably be able to reuse all those clips, put it back on with. Alright, that spray, the viral rust stuff sprayed on there, sat overnight. I think it helped, but I think it's designed to more like soak your parts in than just spray it on, or if you had a spot that you can maybe like soak a rag in it and wrap it up. But I do think it helped. Definitely looks different. Now the idea here is that I'm gonna try to stay inside of here, so this will be stone guarded and painted, but hopefully just this lip here will be base and cleared. And it's hard to say what I'm gonna do on that cab corner down there. That's kind of my plan, but this stuff left kind of like a sticky residue I'm gonna have to wipe all that off with some lacquer thinners, and then get this piece here sanded out so that I can get some primer on it. Okay, so I got this side covered in painter's plastic. Basically, I just run a tape line down, unfold some of it. I put it up over the roof there, and I got a gallon jug of washer fluid holding it from the wind from blowing it away, because this was a real bit of a pain. This works great inside, but it's not very good outside. It's like flying a kite and trying to tape it to a vehicle. But I did get taped in the way I want it, and took some heavier tape, taped it up there and at the back. And that'll be good to, I'm going to put some paper back in here, but I just got to get my primer on, protect the bottoms of these doors. Pretty simple. Pull this over to the other side. Okay, I got some 2K primer, a little mini gun. You notice I got two hoses hooked up here, a red one and a blue one. Red one, I'm a strong believer in not using the same hose that you run your air tools with as you do your spray guns. So red one, sanders, air tools. Blue one, paint. Okay, so we'll put 2 coats on this flat edge all the way along. I got a few little touch-up spots to put a little glaze in, and I only put 1 coat up underneath. Now this is the primer I've been using, Dominion Sure Seal Ultra Primer. It hardens in like an hour and a half, ready to sand or ready to paint, or I should say top coat. Now I put, like I said earlier, I put this through the minigun, so I actually mixed it. It mixes 4 to 1, but I added probably another 1 part or 25% reducer to put it through that little 0.8 mil gun. And by doing so, it also makes it lay down very, very flat. This will be really easy to scuff up and get ready for paint. Now idea here is, like I said, I'll be doing some stone guard work. I don't know if I mentioned that. Under this edge here, back underneath, I'll be doing stone guard, and also painting this whole section through to the cab corner. I'll be bringing that stone guard just up into the bottom of the cab corner, I believe. I don't really want to paint any more than necessary on this truck in this area. I'll probably have to somehow come up with a blend in there, a clear blend that I'll have to polish out later, as otherwise the rocker turns into the cab corner, and then I'll be clearing the whole door post all the way to the top, and you know, I don't see the point in that. Just making life difficult. So yeah, waiting for this to cure up, get a little glaze putty in here and some of these little craters, get it sanded down, look real pretty, shoot a coat, tape this in here, stone guard, coat of sealer, paint it. Of course I'm gonna have to redo my tape line here, which is really quite simple. Just lift this off and move it up, and then put a new tape line down. Shouldn't be a problem. Alright, so well, the primer's hardening. Planning out my attack here. I have a stone guard coming up about 3 inches, I think, and then there'll be a little bit of black paint, and then a clear blend in this door to polish, or sorry, in this corner right here to polish out later. I'm not too concerned about it being a little dull in here. I think it's going to be fine, but this outside edge will be a polish in there somewhere. So that's kind of the idea. Black's usually not too bad. You don't even really need to blend black. I did that terrain last year or a year before, and I sprayed in some areas where I had cut throughs and stuff, and I just blew some on there, cleared over it, and the blend was perfect, and I didn't even try. So I'm hoping this is gonna be the situation here too. Alright, so double tape line there. There's a reason for that. I'll show you that later on. But this, I scuffed all this up with 1000 grit, one of these spongy sanding discs. So I kind of work backwards. Some people like to sand and repair, and then sand their blend, and then sand their clear area. I don't know, I just like working backwards. I sand in the clear, and then I'll be sanding this with 600 in this area, the cab corner here, and then all along here where the primer is, that'll be down through here, that'll be all 320. That'll be good enough for black. It'll fill in just fine. Okay, everything's covered in. Yeah, you guys didn't get to see that, but sanded it, like I said. Gravel guard under here on the cab corner, then all this paper comes off, and then there's another tape line underneath, which you'll see that has a false edge on it, and then this little strip along here gets covered in sealer, and then we let that sit for a little bit, and then take off the false edge, paint it black, clear it, and there's another false edge on this back corner that'll come off last. Spray a little tiny bit of reducer on that, and then in a few days should be able to give that a little wet and polish right here on the corner. Okay, got Transtar Signature Series sealer in a little gun, and I'm just going to hit all these little spots here like these, and the red glaze, kind of pretty much this whole little 2-inch shelf along here, and before I apply the base. So just gonna I'm just gonna squirt a little on. Okay, so you're looking for just one nice wet coat. Cover your glaze putty or your cut through areas or whatever, and this will be fine. I think I need to get a little bit more right there. Okay guys, this is the reason why all this is back masked. It's worse on the other side, and it's not so bad on this side, but the deal is, pardon me, if there was a dead tape line all the way along, and then I sprayed the sealer up, and then the base coat, and then the clear, and then when it was all done, I peel that off, there would be a gray edge from the sealer along where the tape line was, like how my cab corner on my truck turned out, and that was expected, and I didn't care because it was you know, it was mine, but this isn't mine. So all this back mask, when it comes off, there will be a nice transition up underneath here, and I'll be able to spray the black base and then clear into that line. There will be a line, but there won't be hopefully a gray edge. Okay, I'll be running 2 guns on the base coat. I got the A&I F160. And conveniently, these little plugs fit right in the tops of these. Keeps your gun clean. Keeps shit from getting in there. In case anybody wanted to know. But anyway, the major portions. F160 with a 9-ounce so I can spray upside down. Minigun loaded up here. Be doing the cab corners with it because I need to get in there kind of nice and tight. I didn't leave myself much room for a blend or a clear blend after all. So yeah, that little guy, can be spraying him kind of on a downward a downward angle because I have a tape, false edge tape, so I'm going to spray downward and try to just cover up that primer and then go from there, and then switch the regulator off and the filter onto here, like I say, and then paint the rest of it. You know what? I said screw it. I'm gonna paint the entire small portion here with the mini. That's about the right size job for this, really. Going down real sweet. It's not too hot out now. It's cooled off. The medium's doing a nice job. Getting on there nice and wet. Nice thing about painting outside with a mini, you get shit all over everybody else's stuff. So yeah, there you go. Look at that. That's pretty good. I like it. But I will be doing the underside with the F160. Oh, I mentioned in a previous video, I can't run a camera and paint at the same time. So, you know, I gapped out there. Sorry. Okay, got clear in the gun. It's getting late. What I mean is it's getting dark. It's coming down 7:30. It's gonna be dark in another hour at the most. Summer has pretty much come to an end where I am. I missed out. I didn't show you shooting the base with the F160, but I had to get the clear on here. Well, I can still see both sides are ready. Another 5 minutes and I'm shooting that. Okay, I'm going to peel some of this tape back here where I did that false edge and try to get it off. And then close this door over. I already took the paper off of here. And try to get that piece of tape off. I here, and then I'm gonna shoot a little bit of thinners on this edge. Pretty dark out. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the thinners is trying to burn in that edge. I'm gonna puff just a little bit more on, and then go to the other side. Okay, so yeah, it's like 5 after 8, and yeah, it's starting to get dark. I could be out here later. Go and get something to eat. Come out later once this is at least tacked off. Get all this paper peeled off so I can at least close the doors. Yeah, late night last night. Got it finished up. It's pretty much dark. Was out here a couple hours later, around 9:30. Got all the masking all peeled off, and then yeah, ended up raining sometime in the night. Fortunately, once this has got a few hours on it, it seems to pretty much withstand anything. It's pretty good clear for what it is. So let's have a look at what I got going on here. So there's the stone guard, comes up to here, painted up into there. So you see I have this little tiny little shadow line right there. Talking like have to maybe buff that out with 1500 to be like maybe half an inch wide, and then get out the little 3-inch polisher and just give her a little go. It did way better back in behind here for some reason. The thinners burn in did a really nice job back here, but it's a little foggy there. Not a big deal. So let's take a look at the rest of the job. Now, I said there would be a line before, but it's not a dark gray line. It's just kind of a little bit of a line where the tape was, where the clear, you know, where the clear is. So the bottoms of this section are pretty nice looking there. And behind the door on the back, looks pretty nice. Yeah, there is a little line going through there. This is what I anticipated. There's not much you can do. You'd have to, you know, like I said earlier, you'd have to like clear coat everything and the door and this back door post, but it wraps around to the back of the cab, so you know, you'd have to have the job box off. It just where does it stop? It just gets kind of out of control, right? So that's that. And underneath, this is the brake line here where the stone guard starts underneath, and it looks really, really nice. And the other side, there's no point in looking at the other side. The other side looks exactly the same. So yeah, now the funny thing is, I said, you know, I gotta clean up that little fog line there. Now the technical data sheet here says about buffing. I find this hard to believe. 6 to 8 hours dry time at 77 Fahrenheit before buffing. Then best to polish between 6 and 24 hours. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I'm gonna let that sit. Maybe I'll give it a try this afternoon. We'll see. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you.